Yo.
Drunk and alone. All night. Yo, type shit. Welcome back to Triple Nexus Podcast. Y'all late night edition because I have one of these bitches were waiting for me. You know how it is. Ignore the technical difficulties that happen with the 7 seconds where we were locked in seconds, bro. It's okay. We're back now.
7 seconds ago.
This is the full live. I'm Nerd Papa. That's Bernsey. That's ND. You know how it is. We got shit to talk about. So let's get about it. Let's talk about it. So the Anime Awards happened this week. And you know what? I think the Anime Awards are fair. I think they're balanced. I think they really genuinely showcase what is the best among us.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like I think
always,
it does. Always,
without fail. Not even this year.
Obviously, there was an anime that happened this year that took away a lot of awards. And when I'm talking about a lot, maybe too fucking much awards, bro. Too many awards. We had, I think it was best MC, best like new series, best anime of the year, like best opening. Like get fucked. it was Solo Leveling. Now I want to ask you two before I give my opinion, my very unbiased, clear-headed, like full opinion about Solo Leveling. What do you guys think about the Anime Awards? Does it showcase anything in particular? Should people take it seriously? Let's hear your takes about it. What do you think about Solo Leveling taking away?
I love the results personally. As someone who has not seen Frieren specifically, which a lot of people said could compete, I think Solo Leveling is completely fine in getting Anime of the Year, especially with the Ant King fight and the Baru fight. I don't give a fuck. Fuck One Piece. Solo Leveling takes that. 100%.
Fuck One Piece. NT, what do you think, bro?
I think that I literally said that Solo Leveling was going to win. I literally said Solo Leveling is consistently fire, whereas One Piece has 2 minutes of fire and 20 minutes worth of mid. That is why Solo Leveling was going to win. I literally said that not even like 2 weeks ago, and then it literally happened. So like, I'm happy that Solo Leveling won, even though low-key best MC is a little bit insane, but fuck it. I literally said Solo Leveling was gonna win, and they won, so I'm happy. Now people are saying the 1,000-Year Blood War should have won shit, but you know what? If One Piece didn't win shit, then I'm happy.
Spade.
Even if One Piece didn't win shit either, as long as One Piece didn't win shit, I'm happy.
All right, now let me talk my shit because I'm about to talk my shit. Number one, okay? Let's just talk about it. One Piece wasn't animated for any of the fucking year, so I don't know why the fuck y'all are talking about One Piece, bro. It wasn't even nominated for Anime of the Year. It's been a reoccurring series for like 28 fucking years. What are you talking about? Oh, that Solo Leveling fucking beat it. Shut the fuck up. Number two.
Yo,
and this just shows
who took best continuing?
Toxic, bro. Toxic One Piece fans.
Bro, who took best continuing anime?
Yeah,
who took best continuing anime?
Fucking Demon Slayer's bitch ass fucking training arc over Bleach in One Piece is crazy. What the fuck are we talking about? And it wasn't 2025 One Piece. It was 2024, and I'm talking like Gear 5 Luffy versus Kaido.
Bro,
and
Demon Slayer is just too peak, bro. Demon Slayer is too peak, bro. Gunko is literally inspired by Demon Slayer, bro.
Facts.
How can you deny the peak?
Ridiculous.
When One Piece is literally inspired by.
Can't deny the influence.
And number two, we're talking about Solo Leveling, bro. Even Burns, like you're falling for the propaganda in real time because you know what season of Solo Leveling was nominated? It wasn't season 2. It was season 1 that was up for the award, and everybody voted for it because they thought it was season 2.
Season 1 had the best hook of like almost any anime I've seen in modern times. I don't care.
Frieren
I'm not gonna lie.
I haven't started Frieren. I cannot give an opinion on Frieren.
Solo Leveling, if we're talking about best anime adaptation, low-key, it did have the best. Like, when you look at the manga or the manhwa and you look at the anime, that is like one-to-one shit. Like, you can't even deny that. You can't even deny it.
They did change some stuff. Solo Leveling, Jinwoo's like more loses himself. I read the manhwa. I personally like the manhwa more. The fight scenes like are kind of sick. The stuff that they added, but I love the manhwa, and Jinwoo's characterization is better than the manhwa because they make him lose himself more. Like they add more they definitely add more characterization to Sung Jinwoo. In the anime, he's just like ore farming. There's no character. They just made it ore farming. Frieren episode 2, where they literally put characterization with the fucking blue flowers. And and for those of you who are watching, with the fucking dude who died, that shit clears Solo Leveling in terms of writing, like point blank period, and what that made me feel from episode 2 of Frieren. Frieren deserved that times 1,000.
Bro, who needs writing when you got Aura though?
When you
like,
got that,
let's be realistic. Let's be realistic.
We have Aura and fights. So
like bro.
Who needs writing?
Not even a spoiler.
Not better than
warning,
the Baran
get fucked.
fight.
I don't even know if you're watching an anime podcast about. You don't even need a spoiler warning. Like I'm ignoring the fuck out of that. You just made me fucking pissed off.
What'd they say?
Not even a spoiler warning with the glasses, the nerd glasses. Get fucked. Get fucked. My thing also is this anime of the year awards straight up, and this might be a stretch. I don't give a fuck. Shows and encapsulates the state of like the United States and like politics and everything. Like it literally just mirrors the election that just fucking happened. What are we talking about? When you have two candidates, one so overly qualified to win, one so smart, so deep, so fucking like perfect for the job and needed to win. Everybody like saw him, was like, oh my god. And guess what? The main character, Frieren, was a woman, and the overly qualified candidate was a woman. And then you have somebody who just aura farmed because they almost died. And then won the election because they were voted because they aura farmed.
But there are no devastating repercussions from choosing solo leveling. Like, I promise you, we're fine for solo leveling winning. We will be all right.
But yo, low key though, like I'm being just like dead ass, like no rage bait, no nothing. Why does anybody genuinely give a fuck about fucking Crunchyroll awards? Like that's what I'm like,
Of all types.
Like we're acting like this is like the Oscars, bro. It's fucking Crunchyroll awards. Like what?
Well, they gave it to solo. You know why they gave it to solo leveling? Because solo
it's
leveling.
hype.
Yeah, and well, not even just hype. It just made them fucking cash all of this.
Of course.
This year. Obviously, they're gonna give fucking all of its awards. But like, I mean, come on, best.
The
and
talk of the
video
talk,
games.
the edits.
Like, if it's just like a voting system, it's like yeah, all the 11-year-olds voted for it. Like I don't know. Like,
Like,
Yeah, just naturally.
Like actually, dude, and I'm like genuinely upset, not because of the Crunchy Wars or whatever it means, but Megumi Ishitani, the director for One Piece Fan Letter, like deserves like actual like awards for that fucking episode, like an actual something that means, because that episode like insane. That was one of the best directed episodes I've ever seen in like not even just anime, and this is even on One Piece Glaze. Like she's insane. And her art and her creation, everything she does. And she lost Best Director to Frieren, which makes me feel better because Frieren, like, that direction also was, insanity. Like, Megumi Ishitani deserves to be recognized for that work. Like regardless of the Crunchyroll Awards, just, like, on a different basis. That episode and, like, how it encapsulates what One Piece means, just what the point of views from, like, everybody and seeing, like, even the standard Marine, what it sees to, like, these fucking superhumans just fighting, like, around you and what the world government does to, like, your average run-of-the-mill, like, person. Shit's fucking so hype, bro.
That just reminded me.
Shit was beautiful.
that fan letter shit. I don't know why it randomly reminded me of a little while ago when people were trying to unironically say that the average Marine would beat the average Shinobi in Naruto.
Nah, bro. Average Marine cowering in fear.
A prosecution lays that fucking deleted their whole existence.
Shitting their pants when somebody starts flying in the air.
Yeah, I would not have to agree because it's also like the average shinobi has chakra control, you know what I mean? Or like knows how to control their chakra to some type of way. What the fuck is the average?
Bro, the average shinobi was willing to go against Madara head on and face a Ten Tails head on.
Yeah.
That's like the equivalent of an average Marine facing like there's someone on the level of like let's say Group 5 Luffy just pulling up and be like, yeah, I got you right now. Even if they get fucked, but are they doing that? No one's doing that.
No, they're not.
These big battles they don't want to be a part of. They're not built for this.
The average Marine in the fan letter episode was literally crying over a pacifista laser. What the fuck are we talking about?
No, that's it's not. They're not like, bro. And the thing is, like, One Piece has power systems which you don't need to have in order to have the job of a Marine.
Right.
You have to be proficient in the job, like to be like a fucking Jonin level, like Shinobi. You have to be mad proficient in chakra.
Even to graduate the academy, bro, you need to have enough chakra control to do a clone jutsu.
Yeah.
Exactly. To be a Marine, you just need to have a blicky. Like, you don't even need to have a body. You don't
just need the strap.
You just need the strap, and that's legitimately it. And they're like, oh my god, what did I get? What did we get ourselves into?
What did I sign up for?
Yeah, hell no. Like, even, like, you look, like, but what we're talking about, like, average, like, Marine or even, like, average pirate. Like, I'm rewatching One Piece right now. Like, the Down Creek pirates. Like, they're, like, that's like average pirate.
Holy ass.
Like, average pirate.
No, and, like, people, what's crazy is that, like, people were, like, actually in fear of Down Creek pirates. Like, it wasn't even, like, you know, like...
Yeah,
bro.
Like the
Don Krieg, like
the average Marine would be shitting themselves, like, oh my god, Don Krieg!
just for a sword man to obliterate all of them.
Like in the first episode, the motherfucker, these niggas were afraid of fucking Axe-Hand Morgan. What are we talking about right now?
Definitely.
Dude, like even watching that shit is just so funny because the Mihawk like spawn camping the East Blue memes are so fucking hilarious. Like this dude was just waiting at the Grand Line, waiting for people to enter with his big ass sword, and you're like, oh, you
destroy
wrong
ships
today, bitch, and just fucking just cut down the whole fleet. Mihawk, what are you doing?
Even in reference to that, even in reference to that, was there ever like an explanation of why the fuck he did that, or just like
Never?
Because fuck it, we ball. Like, why not? Why not?
He was a dickhead.
He's
bro.
able to. He can do it, so why not?
He was like, oh, I'm not fighting Shanks because I don't want to be considered a fraud and lose to somebody with one arm, so I'm gonna go no dip with the Hungry Pirates.
Bro, you could destroy ships with your sword. Why wouldn't you? You just not gonna?
It was fun. No, but the thing is, they left the Grand Line and they were like, we need help, and Mihawk followed them. It was like, I'm cutting this big ass ship down again, bro. You can't walk away. Like, what are you doing? You have shit to do, bro. He's sailing in the one ship by himself. It's like a raft.
Just for a fucking Don Krieg to try to flex on, bro, and then he just dips. Like, get me the fuck out of here.
Mihawk, he's gotta be. Yeah, and the thing is, like, he's not a fraud, you know what I mean? But it's so funny to call him a fraud because what are you doing, bro? You got some. It's like Luffy now going to like East Blue and like just trying to no diff pirates. Like,
and it's just like crazy too because like Hawkeye is a warlord, but like warlord of what? Like you're just a guy sitting on a raft.
The
like,
sword.
Genuinely warlord of what?
Like actually, like all the other warlords like had crews, they had territories and shit. Mihawk nothing. Mihawk just his sword and the title of world's strongest swordsman, bro. That's all the reason why he became a fucking warlord.
World's
like,
strongest swordsman.
Yo, swordsman equals Mihawk victim. That's all he needs, bro.
Bro, stop. Even though Shank solos, that's crazy.
Nah, but bro, speaking of swordsman equals Mihawk victim, bro, I saw like a couple of, you know how like in like the latest chapter, how they like showed shit of like what was I about to say about like about how like shit, what was I about to say? There's something about the God's Nest. I'm about to say something about the God's Nest. Oh, yeah, how people were saying that Brook how Gunko became a God's Knight and Gunko and like Brook were like had like a similar like backstory. People went from saying that like Mihawk was a former God's Knight, and then I saw people saying that Brook was a former God's Knight. I'm like, bro, what?
No.
Why are we just like saying God's Knight for everything, bro?
Where are you
like,
getting this from?
They're like, oh, Brook knew Gunko. That means before he was a pirate, he was a God's Knight.
We gotta throw out as many theories as possible. One of them's gonna smack. One of them's hitting.
The fuck out of me when people said Brook was a God's Knight. Stupid. I think Mihawk being God's Knight is 1,000 times more plausible just because of like Gunko's appearance when Emu possessed Gunko.
Right.
Gunko
True, with
had
the eyes
of Emu. I think that like whoever Emu fully possesses like ends up having those eyes, and I think Mihawk got so strong that he was able to sever that control and did it while he was possessed, so that he ended up having those eyes of Emu. That would be like a bomb ass fucking thing and a bomb ass backstory for Mihawk. He also has a cross necklace and a cross sword. Talking about the Holy Knights, what are we talking about? Like that shit would be.
I think the only thing that like I would push back against because of that theory is the whole. First of all, unless you're saying like he like broke the devil's contract, like he just like fully like broke it, because like isn't it like when Emu like breaks the contract like you die? Isn't that the whole thing with Saint Saturn?
Like does. That, yes.
Yeah, so it was like because
there's also people who. Oh, sorry, my fault. After you, I interrupted you. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say that the whole thing with like Saint Saturn gives them like devil powers, gives them immortality. I mean, Emu gives them immortality and shit, and then Emu can just like take away the immortality. So like, why wouldn't Emu just like take away Hawkeye's immortality and then he would just like die?
Wouldn't it be? What if it's just based on how much time you have left? Because it damages your lifespan, but it doesn't say that it takes away like it completely. So maybe Saturn just didn't have as much time left. So when the immortality ran out, he was already over, like the amount of time that his time span was cut down was already went overboard.
And then what about
something like that? Throw in the dart.
And the other thing would be like, why would Emu be like why would the world government be like, oh yeah, like Hawkeye's was a holy knight and then defected, yeah, you get to be a warlord now.
And just not give a fuck.
There's a couple things. Number one, with him like the immortality, whatever, like why wouldn't Mihawk die? I've seen theories that Black Blade, like having a Black Blade in One Piece means like you defeat death. and like you able to conquer everything. You can literally cut down and conquer anything, including death itself. And
Bro thinks he's Deadpool.
That's why death came for Zoro in Wano. That's why, because Zoro got advanced conquer stock, he put the spirit in the swords, and as soon as he did that, death came for Zoro in Wano. Why did that happen? And that, I think, people will allude to having a Black Blade. I think if Mihawk is strong enough to defeat like death itself, then he was able to sever that connection and gain his lifespan back, and just not die from Imu taking by that immortality, or Mihawk severing the contract himself. You know what I mean? Like, if he severs the contract himself, maybe that alludes to not having immortality. And then what was this? The second question you said was, the government. Because if you're strong... If it's strong enough to step to Imu, who the fuck is stepping to you in the rest of the world government? Are you kidding? If he's strong enough to sever that connection, wouldn't you want him on your side for him to be a warlord rather than just go be a pirate, like, with no, like, free reign whatsoever? If he's at least back in the world government, he's not under Imu's direct wing and being controlled by Imu whenever the fuck he wants. I feel like Imu could do it to any one of the Holy Knights that he so desires. And imagine you have to be a fucking devil when Imu, like, says you are. You know what I mean? Severs that connection, but still works for the world government and has the free roam of a pirate. If he came to you with that decision of being like, yo, I want to be a warlord, you're telling the man who was strong enough to cut that fucking immortality line with Emu, no? Hell no, because he'll kill all of you, bro. Like,
so then why wouldn't Emu just negative diff him? Like, how destroyed the whole fucking island. Why wouldn't she just like use that and just like fucking delete him from existence?
Maybe fucking Emu can't. Maybe Mihawk's
or like
just
Mihawk,
that person,
are we upscaling?
Bro, come on. Maybe Mihawk is just a top tier.
Just like that.
I don't know. Listen, I'm team. Like, Blackbeard is gonna come along and absorb Emu's powers, all that stuff, be stronger than Emu.
I agree with that
one.
That
all finishes. So if they're showing like Emu's powers now, we haven't seen like what Mihawk is fully capable of, or we haven't seen like how Blackbeard actually fights. Maybe it's true. Maybe it ends up being like these actual top tiers. Like Mihawk is somebody who can not necessarily beat, but step to Emu. And it's like, it wouldn't be a negative diff. So Emu would have had to show their powers, show that they're the person sitting on the throne when nobody's supposed to be on the throne. If they wanted to go after Mihawk, like actually do some shit to risk showing to the entire world. Which just makes what's happening on ELBAF right now so fucking significant, because they're literally risking their entire position of power to go get these giants to join. Why? What the fuck happened to Maurice Wa? Like, is Dragon really about to go, like, step to Emu on the throne right now? Like, why is
honestly,
Emu
probably not. I feel like it was the whole thing with Devon getting like touching Saturn and getting the ability to like change it. I feel like that's what has something to do with it. I think Dragon is probably still at the desk. Like, let's be honest. Like,
my Blackbeard stocks have never been higher, and if Blackbeard at this point doesn't become the final villain of One Piece, I'm the biggest fraud in history, bro. Like, I'm the biggest One Piece fraud ever.
For sticking to it after this point.
Every theory I've ever had,
bro,
is
an alien from space is gonna show up in the last 10 chapters and become the final villain.
Imagine, bro.
It's already barely about pirates, man. Come on.
That's what.
It's already barely
used to be about pirates.
Bro, people love to say that shit about fucking. Like,
One Piece used to be about pirates, and didn't have no like reincarnation, no gods, no anything like that. Sun god, this, that.
No, that's crazy though, because how come people don't say that low-key though?
They don't! They don't! They don't!
Because low-key genuinely remember why One Piece is
Waiting for the apologies. Waiting for the apologies.
That's facts though. Like, now there's gods and demons and fucking the world ending shit, but like Ragnarok, like, bro.
Edo Tensei. We got.
What happens to people just on a boat fucking sailing to different islands?
Wait, Andy.
I saw a comment about that, by the way. I saw a comment about that, by the way.
Because what the fuck are you talking about? What happened to people said? The first, like, villain you're ever introduced to that's not a marine is a fucking clown that can, like, separate his limbs and make them fly at you with a chop fruit, bro. What are you talking about?
But it was still pirate. It was still pirates. It was still
picking up on it.
It was a clown pirate, but yeah, it was still pirates, bro.
It was a clown pirate.
It was pirates going to different islands doing shit, and then now fucking God is here fucking fighting the devil, and giants are getting turned into demons, and Ragnarok is happening, and fucking
nightmares are coming to life.
Nightmares are coming to life. Fucking motherfucking Nordic gods are showing
Immortality.
Devil's contract, motherfucker. What is going on right now?
We copying Black Clover now too. I saw a small comment about literally only one where somebody did say, I was looking at a Reddit thread about the leaks, And somebody did unironically comment. They were like, "What happened to it being about pirates?" And I saw this reply, and I was like, I got an aneurysm, because it's just the same thing that I'd be saying about Naruto. It's like, it was never actually just about pirates. There was always roots and mythology and symbolism. Like, so why don't we apply that same thing to the verse that we keep using that same shitty downplaying for? I thought it was about ninjas. Like, there's not a friggin' nine-tailed fox in the first episode destroying a village and lighting it on fire and flying turtle islands.
And it's like, unironically, aliens from space might actually show up because, like, because Enel is on the moon.
The moon people, yeah.
No, there are aliens. The moon people, people are fucking aliens. No, Birds, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why the same logic, or people aren't using the same logic with Naruto.
And
One Piece has always, I feel like One Piece has always been nonsensical. Like, by the time we got the Thriller Black, my nigga, we had, like, zombies.
Well, not just that. People like the whole Kaguya mythology. Like we're in the golden age of like social media and theories and all that, where it's like accessible through TikTok and everybody's seeing theories and people talk about the mythology.
Factual.
You know what I mean? That wasn't around when Naruto was like at its peak, so people were not as connected to the lore that it was connected to there. You know what I mean? So people were
like my nigga, when Naruto was at its prime, niggas thought Pain was secretly Minato. So let's.
So let's be serious. The theories were so bad. But the One Piece theorists were
Obito Sasuke from the future
connected to that to like mythology and like, or like, okay, this mythological XYZ, and you can see everybody talking about like on TikTok and stuff, so that when it actually happens, even if it's a little bit off, it's like, okay, but we like kind of saw this coming. With Naruto, there wasn't people to fucking do that, and the Kaguya myth is like an actual thing that happens, and she is an actual alien.
It's directly from the story.
If Naruto
and ate the god tree fruit
right now, exactly.
Would be like, oh my god, Lord.
Exactly.
This is more reasoning as to why Naruto should get a remake, and they should postpone the One Piece remake animation.
Wait, you can have both.
We shouldn't get both. We shouldn't get both. Because One Piece is still running.
No,
because One Piece is still running.
Bro, people got so mad at me when I said the One Piece remake was a money grab. But like, it is.
Of course it is.
It's not even like don't make a remake. One Piece is still running, and it's going to run for at least the anime, even when the manga ends, for a while.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have a remake so soon.
Because they want more eyes on the original stuff. A lot of people get turned off because all the pacing,
Also saying this like they're even made by the same companies, by the way. Like they're not. Like it has no correlation.
I feel like instead of a remake, like what should happen, even though like I personally wouldn't watch it, but I feel like the whole thing is that people feel like they're like left out of some like exclusive club of of the One Piece shit. Like when it's like, oh, One Piece is already so far in, like, oh, I don't want to start from the beginning, I don't want to watch all these episodes, but they want to be part of the club without actually having to like.
Who cares, bro?
That makes any sense. So I feel like
just read it.
Like if they're just if they're like trying to bring new people into like the fandom or whatever to like make money, why not just make like a 2-hour movie for each arc, like up to the time skip?
That would sound fire. That sounds fire.
Right.
They just remastered the Fishman Island arc and got it from like 70 episodes down to like 18 or whatever it was. Do that with all the post-time skip shit, or even the pre-time skip shit. Like,
yeah, like I feel like if they do a movie for each arc in the pre-time skip, and then they like remaster like the post-time skip stuff and like shorten it, like wouldn't like that? I feel like, and then just do a remake after the series is already like finished, instead of like doing a remake running along with the one that is currently out running while the manga is also running.
One Piece Kai.
While the live action is also running. Like what?
Remake, live action, the actual anime. Like what? Oh my god, bro!
Can't keep getting away with this.
Manga's not even over. Manga's still running.
The manga's still going. The manga's still like Emu just showed up. Okay, congratulations. Manga's got 5 to 7 years left.
Yeah, I don't know how soon is soon. Like I don't know, but like Emu showing up now. And with that Conquer Hockey expulsion.
It depends. I feel like the whole thing with like the manwha, if it turns out to be some kind of like ass pull where it's like, oh, manwha is not actually burning, it's just like one building burned out, it's like okay. But if it was like manwha is actually like burning, then okay, the series might actually be ending because it's like, why else would that be happening? You know? We're
getting close. It would be one of these events. Either ELBAF or manhwa itself is going to cause all of the big players to go to one spot. Now, how long is this end of ELBAF going to take? Will it take a year? Will it take 2 years? Like, is there a lot of shit that's happening? Will there be any cutaways to, like, manhwa or what's happening, like how there was cutaways in Egghead, like showing what happened with Garpa and Aokiji or all that? There's all those questions. One of those two events will trigger everybody going to the same spot. But then even think about that. Like, you have the final war, and you saw how fucking long Wano was taking in the manga because all of the fights that were happening separately were like, now you have all those final war fights that are going to be happening and all like of the characters who need to fight each other. And then you have Lodestar, which is the island before Laugh Tale. And then you have Laugh Tale and like the One Piece itself, and how long that stuff is going to take. It still has a, like, even though they're getting towards the final war, there's still some shit. There's still gonna be a long fucking time before One Piece, like, the manga ends.
You're gonna have a little prep phase.
Pulls up with the JJK though, and ends it in like 6 chapters.
Nah, they just said now. This is the final arc. It's
Actually,
ending
guys,
right after ELBAF, and that's it.
There's 5 chapters left. I literally go into hiding. I would never fucking. I'd be so fucking pissed, bro. Because then you would just know nothing would get solved ever. All of these things that have been like leading up would just end up being plot holes, just like fucking JJK was, bro. Or like finish in one goddamn sentence when it had all this build up.
It's over.
Literally, it's Gojo over, bro.
Thank you, guys.
Which, like, am I the only one who doesn't give a fuck what the One Piece is? Like, I'm being like dead ass because
I feel like at this point you can't really give too much of a fuck because so many people would probably be disappointed if you hung yourself on the fact of what it was for this
the
song.
whole point is like what role is they gonna play in the overall narrative, like of like ending the world government, but like what literal object is it? Who cares? I don't know. Maybe I'm alone on that, but like I don't know. I feel like so many people are like, oh, like I can't wait to find out what the One Piece is. Oh my
Just
goodness,
shows that you're here for the journey.
I've been reading for 20 years just to find out what the One Piece is. Dude, who cares what it is? You know what I mean? That's like saying I've been reading Naruto for fucking 20 years just to find out what the Ten Tails looks like.
Well, because if you're building up to something like that, that'd also be like if Naruto and Sasuke didn't fight at the end. Because the whole series basically led to like, yo, at the end they're gonna do something.
But I feel like that has heavy narrative significance. It's not. It wasn't about the fight necessarily. It was about what it represents. You know? What I mean?
What the conclusion would be.
Right. But if it was like, damn, I can't wait to see like Naruto and Sasuke fight just to see the fight.
Well,
like who
just
cares?
because it's gonna happen.
Like they could literally fight whenever. You know. So I don't know. I feel like it's more about the narrative significance for me than it is about like what it literally physically is.
I feel that. I'm more excited. There's so many more mysteries that I want to be solved, that I want to see, rather than what the actual One Piece is. Again, it's going to have to do with, like, taking down the world government, and we, like, kind of know that already. But there's so many, like, now I'm more interested in, like, what Luffy's dream is. What is, like, his dream for the world. I'm more interested to see the reveals about all the characters, like Blackbeard, like Mihawk, like Shanks. Give me more backstories into all these characters. How do they get into the positions that they are? I'm excited to see the final war, how it connects to everything, like... I feel like
in the final war, like I feel like I'm sorry to cut you off. I feel like in the final war, that's when they're gonna show the actual what happened in God Valley. Because I was so fucking pissed off
saying that.
I saw the episode. It was just like red lightning.
We're gonna see what happens in God Valley.
No actual fight. I was like, okay, so why did I wait this long for this, bro?
I'm crying.
Now you just get little hockey stripes.
Like literally, bro. Like at that point, like you couldn't have
clashing in the subtitles.
You couldn't have at least showed us like both crews jumping at each other or something. Like at least give us like a little bit of like something, not just like a little slideshow and then red lightning. Like come on, like no, that shit actually like upset me genuinely.
They kept all the mysteries, bro. You don't know how strong Rox is. Out of the 6 devil fruits that they had, you saw 2 and now 4 other mysteries. Oda's really good at hanging you by the balls and making you like.
And what's crazy too is like what. Like, if they extend other fights, why not like add like a little bit of something here? You know what I mean? Like the one like the Zoro versus fucking Lucci. That was not in the manga, but they still added it. So why not add like new stuff? I don't know.
Like necessary filler.
Even if it's just
filler,
adding
good context.
Like at least add a little bit of something.
Yeah, I feel. People think that like, because there's a lot of like hidden mysteries, and I've seen so many theories. Like Rox telling Roger, like Rox is actually a good guy, and Rox told Roger of like the existence of Emu or some shit like that, and that's why they like decided to wipe them the island off the map, just like they did with fucking like Lelouja. And at that exact given moment, it's because they didn't want to put like Emu at risk or something.
No, but that makes sense because of like the Buster Call and Egghead. That's like similar.
So I've seen like the connected, and he kind of wants to shroud it in mystery because there's some fucking huge ass plot. Besides the fact that like all these top tiers just fought, there's some shit that happened where it's like it's bigger than just them all fighting together. Like why did the newspapers say that Roger and Garp teamed up in order to fight against rocks. What the fuck happened there? Because you know how much they'd be lying too. You know how much they'd be stretching the truth. What actually happened? What did rocks know, and like who is rocks? To have that island be erased from existence, and for the newspapers to specifically say that the Marines decided to beat rocks on that day, and the rocks pirates were disbanded. So that's why I think they're shrouding in a mystery. But I agree. Like, give me like a clash between like Roger and
right. Like at least like it doesn't even have to be anything crazy. Just like a little like sprinkle of something, like 10 seconds of something, like you know.
Dude, oh my god. Even I was fucking watching Mihawk.
Even if it was like NPC, even if it was them fighting NPCs, at least like you know,
do something, spin around, throw a couple of hits.
Just a little bit of sprinkles. You know what I'm saying? I was watching fucking Mihawk versus Zoro the other day, bro. I'm so excited for that fight. Like. Talk about embarrassing, bro. Bro beat him with a pocket
butter
knife.
Not even, bro. Butter knife, bro.
Butter knife. And the disrespect was crazy. He goes, if I had a smaller blade, I'd use it. This is the smallest
I don't got one, I'm sorry.
Now. So, like, here we go. And it's just like, oh, like, I want that. The buildup has been so crazy for the whole show about everything, bro. God Valley got mentioned 400 chapters ago. What are we talking about? I want to see it so bad. I want to see all of it pay off so bad. Oh, sucks being a One Piece fan, bro. We got the worst out of all fan bases. Oh.
So much to wish for.
So much to wish
Oh my god.
Oh.
But do you think the Saint Seiya, do you think he died?
No.
No. You just think he just like fell like 10 million miles down and like survived?
Hidan, bro. You know how Hidan fucking Hidan got blown into smithereens by Sukumaru, and Hidan's like, I'm still gonna live, bitch.
He was like, I'm gonna eat my
Sukumaru's
way
like,
out.
Then you're gonna live under dirt for the rest of your life, like, and that's how it's gonna be. I think Summers is like that because.
What happened because of his stupid Colin, bro?
I know, Colin's sold, bro. That's my daddy.
Stupid.
Boom.
Oh my god. I have a deep connection with that person. Oh my god. Like what? Like that was not the time. I actually got pissed.
He was so excited, dog.
That's why I was like, okay, maybe Scopper's gonna be on like some G shit and be like, I'm gonna just let him get a little bit of damage and then push. He's like, nah, don't hurt him anymore. Hurt the kid. Hurt him. My god.
Scopper's like, yo, beat the fuck out of that little bitch.
And then I don't even remember, oh my god, the other girl is feeling bad as shit because they burnt down the library and she thought it was her fault.
Yeah, Ranja. I know.
Take all that blame and give it to Colin. Swear to God.
Colin, if you just let Scott, like if you didn't say anything, Scopper would have no-ditched Gunko at that point, and then Emu would not be here. But look at what you caused. You caused all of your
Bro,
family.
that was like the guy that when Kakashi was knocked unconscious because the Tsukuyomi and Sasuke walked in the room, he was like, oh my god, what's going on? That guy like walked in at the last second. He was like, is it true that Itachi's in the village? And that he's here looking for Naruto Uzumaki? While Sasuke's right there. That's basically what that was. At least that's what that felt like to me. It's like, why? Like, I get it, you're a child and you're, like, stupid, but, like, come on, bro.
While he's there looking for Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke, Itachi Uchiha's in the village. Sasuke.
Excuse me?
He's looking for Naruto, Sasuke.
Is it true that the guy that Sasuke's been looking for his whole life, the guy that murdered his whole clan, is literally right here, right now, literally in this village, at this literal exact moment, right now?
Looking for his friend!
Looking for your best friend and your secret lover?
No cover-up in the world, bro.
And I'm not really asking, I'm just saying it really loudly for no reason to nobody in particular, just to make sure you hear it.
Bro could have stopped talking after the is it true Itachi's here part. He just had to slip in at the end too. And he's after Naruto as well for no reason. Long ass pause.
Yo, Sasuke on BT, bro. He's like, oh. Just proceeds to get absolutely no diffed. Like, that's just, oh my god.
But young Scopper. Bro, he was looking sexy.
Yo.
Jumping off that boat
Yo,
with Rayleigh and Roger.
On God, yo, I'm a straight man. I'm comfortable with my sexuality. Roger could get it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, bro. What are we talking about? Yo, Roger, why are you so sexy, bro? What are you talking about? Why did he look like that? I was kicking, like, I was out like this.
Bro was kicking his feet and shit. He said, oh my god, Waja.
What are you talking about? Be the king of my pirates. He took that. I was like,
Oh my god, is that the king of the pirates?
Like, jump in my booty hole like that. Alright, what are we talking about? Like, yo, Garp, same thing. Garp, they had those like frames on fucking Garp's face when he was like coming down. I was like, yo, the animators love that. And Bogart, did you see Bogart's fucking jawline? What are we talking about? They made Bogart mad sexy.
Nah, I can't lie though. Garling still looks like stupid. I'm sorry. Young Garling looks stupid.
They gave him a little bit extra aura.
I just don't like.
Yeah, they added the fucking like orange fucking like filter to make it to make the color scheme less hideous, but it's still kind of like ass. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. It just doesn't fit. As an old man, it's just different. But I don't know. Looking at that freaking head shape and hair, I don't know. It's pissing me off. Yellow too.
That fit, bro. They need to change that fit immediately. Oh,
Bro
so
got
wait.
mocked.
ND, I know we didn't have this planned on the docket, but I just needed to talk to you about something because you brought it up and shit, bro. Because you brought it up on your TikTok, and I just remember you brought it up on your TikTok, and I don't know why I just had felt the need to like ask you. You said you were rereading Naruto right now.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Yeah, you said you were rereading. And while you said you were rereading Naruto, you said like you just decided to bring up the fact that you were like, oh, I watched Finish Land of Waves, and this is better than One Piece. Like what? Like
because he felt like telling the truth. He felt like telling the truth. What are we talking about it?
Like, what's the logic come from, bro? What are you up to on your reread of Naruto? Like, let's hear it.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like when you watch it as like a kid, it's good, but then when you read it as an adult, especially with like knowledge of like writing and like having studied writing a little bit, just seeing the way that like the story is able to like. First of all, like the Land of Waves, like what I initially remember was just like, oh, Zabuza was evil, then he became good. But then it's just like looking at it and like seeing like all those different like character arcs going on at the same time. For example, like Inari's character arc going simultaneously as Haku's character arc, going simultaneously as Zabuza's character arc, going simultaneously as like Naruto sort of imparting the lesson on Zabuza that like people are not just like tools and like relationships are important. And that literally comes directly after Kakashi said the exact same thing to them about not letting his comrades die and basically teaching them about how like teamwork is valuable and the people who you work with are. So I was just interesting seeing how like Naruto went from not having anybody and being thought that he was like hated and everything, and then Iruka taught him that like that he is important and a valuable member of the village, and then going to like the Team 7 where they all kind of like hate each other, and then Kakashi teaching them that like the teamwork is important and everybody in the team is like valuable and important, and then going from there going to like the next part of that, then like the lesson that we literally just learned being taught to like Zabuza and Haku, who initially saw Haku as you know just like his tool in the same way that he was being used as a tool, and then Naruto was teaching them the same lesson that he learned from Kakashi, who learned that from Minato. You know, it's like there's just so many layers of like writing going on all at the same time, and it's just like when you watch it as a kid, it's just like, oh, angry guy is not angry anymore. But it's like, you know, but it's just there's so many layers of complexity, and then it's also like the whole like political aspect that I just completely like, skipped my mind. You know, the whole thing with like Tazuna blocking like the ships, blocking the bridge from being built so he can have a monopoly on trade, so that he can like maximize his profit at the expense of everybody else. That is like literally like textbook capitalism, you know? So it's just like all of that stuff going on, like, and it's like that like political layer that like I never even thought about that was there that I didn't see. And then it was just like on top of that, it was like even the whole like thing with Inari, like that, having that added layer of that character arc of somebody like learning that like learning about like hope is important, and learning that like that extra layer of like characterization wasn't even necessary. Like the arc would have been good enough even without it, but they just like
added depth.
Exactly, added that extra layer of depth. That it's like the story was already at 100%, and then they like added like something to, like elevated, but they didn't even need to add it. You know
just
what I mean?
in case.
So it's just like, and then if you look at that, and then it's like Shanks sacrificed his arm to fight a fish. It's like you know, like it's like.
I mean, at that point, 100% agree. Yo, if we go in like first 50 chapters for first 50 chapters, like come on, bro.
I think. Yeah, well, that's.
Maybe it's my recency bias, but
no, like, it's not even. It's just whatever your. It's your
recency bias is the truth, I guess. Then because
it's just
bro spit.
Whatever you prefer, dog. I can't change your opinion, bro. That's just whatever you prefer. But I get it. Naruto's absolutely peak. I'm not denying that. When I first watched One Piece, here's how my like journey in One Piece and like where it was in my like anime list and where I got to. Once I got to Arlong Park, I was like, all right, this shit's legit. This shit's gas. This shit might even be top 10. And then as we're going along watching, I get to Eni's lobby, and Eni's lobby is like, all right, this might be top 3.
Get elevated.
This get elevated top 3. And then after I finished Marineford, and you just had that whole just banger after banger after banger. After Marineford, I was like, it's top 1. And then it just kept on going up and up and up. So I get it, but. Even when I watched Arlong Park, I wasn't like, this is better than Naruto. Like, I was just like, it's cooking. We're cooking with gas, bro. I see why people like this shit. That's gas. And then it's like, okay, then it gets in, and this just became like my favorite show of all time. But that's because like I just more relate to the political implications of One Piece more than anything I ever have like in my entire life. I more fuck with that and the story and the message that is selling through its politics and everything. And also, I'm just like a nerd in terms of lore. I was talking about this last night actually, and like
Nerd
the more
king.
lore and literally facts,
King.
one out. The more lore and world building you have, and the more I can dig into like just do like hours and hours of like talking, research, and like theories about like just one topic. And One Piece has like a billion of those. Like that's just like my shit, my niche. But like, if you like Naruto better than One Piece, bro, I don't give like. Go ahead. Naruto's gas. I fucking love Naruto, and I honestly want to reread it now, like as an adult, because the last time I watched it, I was more like. I'm not gonna say how old I was, but it was like 5-6 years ago. You know what I mean? And like I was even just like a wee little lad, and now it's like I'm older. I have more knowledge. I have more like of a political landscape like in my head to know what I should be looking for. And it's like you're right. When I was younger watching like Zabuza and all that shit, I'm not over here being like the political implications of him like in XYZ. Now I would think like that if I watched that. I'm like, oh shit, because that's my shit. So I want to like watch / reread Naruto, and I think after my One Piece rewatch, I'm gonna do that. I want to like.
And then also
Then after the One Piece rewatch, okay, you're gonna reread Naruto in 5 years.
Something else I wanted to add is that like, yo, like, Sakura is still as shit as I remember. I'm not even.
Oh my god.
because like, I'm gonna be so honest. Like, they literally just gave, like, in the, like, first chapter, they literally just gave us the whole backstory about Naruto. And about how Naruto, nobody cares about him, and how Mizuki said that no one's ever gonna love him, and that all he does is for attention, but no one actually cares about him. And then Iruka pulls up with a banger talking about how Naruto is, like, important and valuable member of the village. Right, and everybody, and, like, everyone, and he is an important, valuable member of the village, and, like, the fox demon inside him doesn't define him. And we got that super fucking... Probably one of the best written like first chapters in manga like ever. Just like super heartfelt chapter. And then the instant you introduce your Sakura, the first thing she does, beat up the main character. The second thing she does, first thing she does, beat up the main character. Second thing she does, make fun of him for being an orphan.
My parents would never let me act like that.
What the fuck is that?
My parents could never let me do that.
Like, oh yeah, did you know that people who don't have parents aren't raised well? That's why he answered that. No, what? That is the first impression of this character, and I'm supposed to like the character? Like, what is going on?
Granted, she felt bad after. She felt bad for it afterwards.
A crazy way to introduce your character, bro. Immediately after the Naruto backstory. Like, what the fuck? And then,
bro,
after that, bro, and then it's like, during, like, and then he does this weird thing where it's like, he, like, will, like, set up Sakura for a thing, and then she just doesn't do it. Like, she, like, for example, he says that, like, the reason why, like, Sakura has, like, more chakra control than Naruto and Sasuke, which is why she could do the tree climbing thing, and then that just goes nowhere. Like, it doesn't become Sakura teaching Naruto and Sasuke chakra control. It doesn't become her helping them learn how to, like, it just goes nowhere. Immediately after that, Kakashi says that, is talking about, like, the members of the team, and then he says, and don't underestimate Sakura, she's the brains of the team. And then it just goes nowhere. Like, it literally, like, in the entire Land of Waves arc, okay, it's like, he literally says that, and I'm like, okay, I'm expecting her to do some 1,000 IQ level shit.
Granted.
I'm expecting some, like, 1,000 IQ level shit. Like, he just said she was the brains of the team. Cool. Do some intelligent shit. Nope, she literally just stands next to Tazuna the entire arc. What is that? Like, at that point, why is she even there? She literally just, I swear to God, she literally just stood next to Tazuna for the entire arc. Did not move a muscle the entire arc. So why is she even there? You know what I mean? So, like, it's like, I don't understand. Like, I just don't, like, my brain cannot comprehend that decision. And it's like, Kishimoto is an amazing writer, so it's not like he did it on accident. I'm just trying to, I just cannot understand why you would make, like, why you would write that. Like, I just don't get it.
I don't know, cause I've learned to appreciate some moments that I used to like make fun of like more nowadays. Like in the Forest of Death, like when she fought off some of the Sound Ninja for a little bit while Naruto and Sasuke were knocked out. Like, people make fun of the fact that, like, all she could do is bite onto their arms and they get cracked over the fucking head 57 times. But that was literally to show, like, that's what she can do, and she's gonna do it to protect them. I felt bad on the reread of that. I was like, I used to make fun of that back in the day, but I appreciate stuff more like that now. Now, sitting by Tazuna, and that's it, I can't help with that. I didn't write the arc. If it was me, I would have made her do something besides just save Naruto from a demon when Shuriken at one point.
At the end, right? When fucking all those like fucking thugs show up and they're like, oh yeah, you killed what's the rich guy's name? I forgot.
Oh, Gato.
Yeah, he was like, oh, you killed Gato. Now like we're out of a job, so now we're gonna kill you guys. And then Kakashi like spawns a whole bunch of shadow clones. Like at the very least, you could have made Sakura beat up a couple of the NPCs. Like at least that could have been something, you know? Like
she would have been able to too,
right?
She punched those 2 random thugs literally in the beginning of the arc.
Right. So at least
she could compete.
And that would have could have been just like what, like 3 panels worth of Sakura punching fucking thugs, and then cool. At least we got a little bit of something. Like, yeah,
I'm not even gonna lie. This is definitely my bias showing, but like Sakura versus Sasori, it makes up for all that. I don't give a fuck. She had a banger introduction in Shippuden. I do not care. Absolutely banger introduction.
Whereas I completely fucking disagree. When I get to that point, then I will do my initial reaction because I'm still
naturally
off of hindsight. So when I get to that point, but not gonna lie, like of all the things, like the only thing that my opinion has changed from my initial watch is the fact that Team 7 is a lot less dysfunctional than I remember. And also Sasuke is a lot less angry than he is in the anime.
Yeah, no, they actually changed that, like, a lot. They give him not as much of an edgy, strict, like, emotion in the manga. In the anime, they literally make it so, like, every single scene is just like, fucking motherfuckers. But, like, in the manga, like, there's some things that he actually appreciates, like Sakura hugging him and shit like that, and he's not just a Debbie Downer all the goddamn time.
I want to kill
one person. No, but then that's what makes that moment that happens, makes it so much better. When he gets his little wrist snap.
And then Naruto's like, I hope it's not me. And then, like, in the final fight, it is unironically him.
It's basically him. He ends up trying to kill him.
Hey, listen, at least fucking Sakura's not in an arc that's been foreshadowed to be her arc for the last fucking 1,000 chapters. Now face to face with Demon God, where he's shooting fucking peas and carrots at the devil.
Where
like, what are we talking about?
Do y'all get that from? That Usopp's arc was supposed to be ELBAF. Where the fuck did y'all get that from?
Why do
people keep saying that?
Little Gordon, bro.
Who do you think's about to fight Emu?
He's also
as Gunko. Who do you think's fighting him?
God, Usopp, God versus Devil, like.
No. I never.
Yo, if Usopp does anything this arc, I don't want to hear shit about Sakura punching Kage. I don't want to hear shit.
I thought for Usopp, and there's still arc to go. Wano was like.
Usopp is never going to get turned into a fucking busted ass character. It's not gonna happen.
If he does, I'm gonna laugh.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Wano turned into like 7 people's characters, but what an Usopp
more
arc
Brooks
than
Usopp
is like fucking but there's still time, bro. And what an Usopp, and I don't think he's gonna turn into like fucking. However, I think he needs to be able to beat or have the capability to beat, whether through trickery or whatever, Yasopp and Van Augur. That's where Usopp needs to be.
Usopp is gonna end up like being like Captain Buggy, just like wins his fights by luck. By like being lucky, or like Mr. Satan from Dragon Ball. Like it's not. Oh my God, this dude just developed Conqueror's Haki overnight. That's not gonna happen.
And Usopp arc to me is like Enies Lobby when he turned up as Sniper King, or Dressrosa when he ended up being God Usopp and like through his own thing, like how Buggy like accidentally made it to the top and like got all these people under him. Like Usopp did that shit. Ended up having the Giants like race him up. You know what I mean? Where it's like ELBAF was the thing where he was supposed to like learn all this stuff. The biggest thing I think could ever happen with Usopp in ELBAF is lifting Loki's hammer if it has anything to do with like worthiness and is something that could change shape like they've shown the other things in ELBAF. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not just like something that weighs fucking 10 tons that he can't just lift. Then that's fine. I don't think he's gonna turn into somebody with fucking advanced Conqueror's Haki. I don't think he's gonna turn into somebody like who whatever. I think he's gonna have really good observation Haki by the time the series ends because he's a sniper, and they showed that they like kind of hinted at that in Film Red. But I don't think he's gonna be like some like crazy like these people think he's gonna be like Zoro level by the time ELBAF ends.
Right,
like, that's not gonna happen.
And then people are like, oh, but he needs to be strong enough to beat Yasopp. Why? When was that? Why? Why would he have to fight? You know? The people were like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see Luffy fight Shanks. Why?
Oh, I hate that shit.
Can't wait.
Or the people who are like, the Straw Hats are too weak. They're not a Yonko crew. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
Ooh.
They all
That's a
the
big one
commanders
recently.
need hockey. Where? Name me one Yonko crew right now where more than 4 people have hockey. You can't. It doesn't exist.
Bro, it's just like I don't understand it. It's like they think that to be a Yonko crew, you have to be like Kaido's crew. Like, bro, like what? Like you could. Like, do you think Roger's crew? Everybody was just angry and edgy all the time, bro.
And guess whose crew? But guess whose crew lost
Leaking
to the
knockers
Guess whose
hockey.
crew lost to the Straw Hats in straight ones all across the board? Was Kaido's crew. They literally all ran ones with the Straw Hats and all fucking lost besides Kaido. Kaido had to have multiple people, but King, Queen, Who's Who, Ulti, all of them lost to Frankie, Nami, fucking Robin, Jinbei, Sanji, Zoro. All ran the ones, all won their matchups. That was a Yonko crew. What the fuck are we? Where do people get that? They're too weak. Tell that to the Beast Pirates. They literally beat the fucking Beast Pirates. What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean they're fucking weak? Oh, they can't go up against the red hair pirates. Who? Lucky Roo, Ben Beckman, and Yasop? That's all they have. That's all they have. They have nobody else. Oh, Blackbeard Pirates. Who? Fucking Shiryu's? Like, the 3rd strongest person on that crew. Zoro would wipe his ass with Shiryu's blades if they fought right now. Legitimately wipe his ass with... He would fuck his ass up. Like, Aokiji's a problem, sure. But everybody else, if you put them up against the Straw Hats 1v1, the Straw Hats would fucking beat the shit out of them. What show are people fucking watching? Like, what show? Straw Hats
They need
are
more
too weak.
aura.
That's the whole thing. Like, they want Usopp to like have aura.
They need to look cooler standing next to each other.
Angry and like fucking edgy. Then it's not a Yonko crew.
It's so stupid. Oh, Luffy's not edgy enough. Get a new
I thought
show.
that was one of the requirements.
Get a new show.
talking about?
It's the same people who voted for Sung Jin-woo as best MC. That fucking turnaround type shit right there.
I mean,
Yo.
bro, he's pretty freaking cool. It's pretty freaking cool.
And then fucking downvoted that shit to oblivion the second he showed any type of emotion.
Yo, like,
Yeah, like what are we talking about? We get a little bit of characterization. And, yo, this shit's ass.
How dare you put writing in my ore farm?
Like what?
How dare you?
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't read the manhwa. I mean, you said you did. Is the manhwa like good? Like it's not just surface level aura farming 24/7.
I
Like
low-key love the manhwa. I read that shit in like 4 days. It was like 200 chapters, and I read that bitch in like 4 days. And the chapters are long. They're not like 15-page chapter like One Piece chapter. They're like 60-page fuck. Like they're long. They're long fucking chapters, and I was like, wah, 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 wah. I was scrolling through that bitch in like 2 seconds. That shit was awesome. I think it was more characterization. I think I love the way that they explain the power system towards the end and why Jinwoo can like actually level up. I love the fights, and I love the implications of the fights and all of that stuff. And it was like as it kind of went along, like it felt as though like these people actually like Jinwoo had chances to lose in the end. You know what I mean? Like sure he was getting this power and all that stuff, but then like the power actually means something, and it like he goes through characterizations that like his life isn't all about just gaining power, which was all of what it was. It's about like the relationships he's built throughout that time. You know what I mean? Like, and it
The
seems
solo
like
leveling is the friends who made along the way. Exactly.
the solo leveling.
solo leveling. No, but
The true solo
Do
leveling.
you know what the last words of the manhwa are? Straight up, before the epilogue. I'm not even kidding. My friends, with an exclamation mark. Like, the solo leveling was my friends who we made along the way. Like, actually was... Like, that's actually what the fuck it is. Like it's just way more characterization in the manhwa.
Given how the community reacted when Sung Jin-woon faced agonizing death of family, how do you think that people are going to be able to appreciate the actual depth and characterization to come
Nope,
from the
not
manhwa
at
when they
all. Not
like,
at
or
all.
can you see more moments that you know from the manhwa that people are going to look and be like,
slander it to oblivion like they did like fairy tale.
Literally, when they explain, there's a certain portion of like 10 chapters ish. It's gonna be like 3 or 4 episodes or whatever. When they're explaining the power systems, when like the fighting stops, when Jinwoo's like talking to the person.
You think
who's
people about to
explaining
hate that
everything,
shit?
People are gonna download the fuck out of that. This is ass. Bring me back my ore farming. Like legitimately, people are gonna get actually fucking pissed off.
That's
Like-
not exciting.
And that was one of the best parts of the manhwa for me, was reading all that. I was so into it. I was like, this is fucking cool. This shit is cool. And it's not just like cool because it's cool. It's cool because there's like depth. Oh my god.
More to it. There's more to it.
There's more to it.
Not surface level is the new meta. If your shit goes any deeper than surface level, don't even make a manga at this point. Don't make it. Don't adapt into an anime. Don't do none of that. We want aura and fights.
I just don't get it. But like, why do I feel like that's low key where like manga are in Shonen Jump right now are going? Is that like it's aura and fights?
Well, because that's what's getting the most attention right now.
That's what sells, bro. That's what sells. And it's like. I love how we're going full circle with all the topics without actually like bringing up the topics. Like
yeah, facts.
It's like manga is like slowly turning into like comic books, like where it's just it's just like
perfect lead up.
Where it's just like good, it's like cool art and like cool characters fighting, and like with no actual writing.
Like actually, bro. Like fucking, like what are we talking about?
Got a generation shift.
That's what separates manga from comic books for me. Is like
the
not
writing.
Necessarily the art style,
Right?
But the writing. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's why I got so addicted to fucking Naruto, to Bleach, to One Piece, to Vinland Saga, Fullmetal Alchemist. All that shit is because the writing. Like the art was really cool to look at and like shit like Berserk. You know what I mean? But
right.
I do what I do. I like manga. I like anime because of how deep that shit goes. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But Andy, you've been reading. You've been telling us a little bit for the past couple minutes that you've been reading more comic books and everything like that. How do you feel about like comic books compared to manga? How do you feel about the art compared to manga, the stories, all that stuff? Now that we're on the topic a little bit.
Yeah, I've been reading mainly like DC stuff, primarily like Superman related stuff, and it's like people on TikTok were like mad about this, but it's just a fact. Like art wise, comic books fucking destroy manga. Like in terms of art, like the art, because the art when it comes to comic books is the primary appeal. Like when you're getting like these like 12, 15 page books, it's like every page has to be a masterpiece, or no one's buying that shit. You know, so it's like the primary focus is on here is an iconic character that everybody can recognize, and here is the iconic character doing cool shit. That's like the whole like thing. But then, like writing wise, there's like little to no writing. It's like I would say like the peakest DC comic book in terms of writing is like barely keeping up with like the most middest manga of all time when it comes to the writing. Like, and it's like that's not like right. They're not trying to write the next fucking like. Fucking Iliad, you know what I mean? Like they're just trying to be like, oh, here's Superman, here's him punching a really strong guy, and like, you know, here's this like 6-issue fucking story of like 15 pages each. There's no actual, you know, big fucking conflict going on. There's no actual character arc going on. It's just bad guy being bad and the Superman saving the world, and like
saving the world.
Being like, you know, this is a hero doing heroic shit. It's not. There's not much deeper than that.
It's more a collection of like short stories than like manga. Manga is a huge continuation of everything, and I don't understand why people get mad when you say comic books have better art than manga. Have you looked at weekly like manga and stuff like that? Bro, people in my comment section were trying to say some stupid shit like Toyotaro is the better artist than Alex Ross. Like, are you fucking crazy?
You wildin'.
Like, are you actually nuts? Like, not at all. Not even close. And it's like there's nothing wrong with that.
And exactly. That's why I said in terms of writing, the most middest manga destroys all of comic books. And it's like, because that's the strong suit, right? But when it comes to art, manga is not keeping up, and that's okay. Like, you know,
try to make it even, and it didn't work.
He said the most middest manga, like Bleach, destroys all.
Bro.
But like, no, genuinely, but genuinely, bro, because like. Apparently Kingdom Come is like one of like the comic books that are like when people talk about like one of like the top well written like Superman comic books, they always bring up Kingdom Come. I just read Kingdom Come, and simultaneously I read this like manga that no one has ever heard of called Drifting Net Cafe. Drifting Net Cafe has better writing than Kingdom Come, bro. Like. Genuinely, the most middest manga clears all of comic books in terms of writing, and that's okay because the main appeal is here is an iconic character that everybody can recognize doing cool shit. You know, like that's what it's about. Like they're not trying to write some super deep, complex philosophical shit, but manga is unironically trying to do that.
Well, I mean, and it also just shows the difference in culture, 1,000%. You're talking about like Japanese culture, where people who are literally just not inside of the United States care so much more deeply about art, and not just the drawing aspect, but about like what it means to the world, the politics, the thematics, everything, and how the like they actually the philosophy, the actual like deep rooted fucking shit in art. Whereas people in the United States,
Americans like show me colors. Cool shit.
Pretty colors.
Show me explosions.
Show me ore farming. Like, that's all that people in the United States give a fuck about. They don't care about, like, actual deep fucking stories, and if it doesn't have cool fucking shit, they won't watch it. It's the same thing, like, oh my god, the new Superman trailers look so bad, blah, 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 Zack Snyder's Superman looks so much better. It's like, you don't get what the fucking character's supposed to be, you dumb fuck. Like, the Superman trailers, the James Gunn ones, I already like them better than the fucking Zack Snyder movies. Just because of, like, even you just look at the composition and how it's so much lighter in the James Gunn.
But they don't care, bro. Bro, they saw that Gamma was above 20 and just shat on it immediately.
Exactly. Like,
they saw that you could see what's happening, was like, nah, this sucks.
They saw Superman like some brooding fucking, like, emo dude and actually cared about saving people and were like, nah, not my Superman. Not my Superman at all. Like that's where the United States is in terms of, like, fucking art. It's like, you just care about cool shit, and that's like, those two movies, the perfect dichotomy of showing that you don't care about what the story is actually trying to tell you.
No,
even from the comic books that are written for you, bro. Like, you don't give a fuck. Stupid pieces of actual fucking garbage, bro.
And it's like, it is so hard. You have to actually put in effort to, like, misunderstand comic books, and people, like, unironically still misunderstand them. It's like
100%.
It's like the most clearest, most surface level shit, and people still don't get it.
Fucking idiots. Absolute fucking idiots. All right.
Oh my goodness.
That's our hour. Bingo bongo. Damn, that shit really does fly.
Yeah, that shit flew.
That shit flew, bruh. There's gonna be there's gonna be podcasts where we might have to talk about giving a little bit of an extension. You know what I mean? Giving a little bit of an extension. Obviously, when it's not fucking 11:30 at night, bro. Me coming home from work.
That...
After rubbing my nipples. Okay. Anyway, now let's. I'm just kidding.
Gang was not kidding.
Both of y'all, I'm crying. All right, thank y'all so much for joining the Triple Nexus podcast tonight. We appreciate y'all so much. Thank you all for the support. Follow us on TikTok up here. Follow us all on our separate TikTok pages if you don't already. Don't forget to always keep an eye out for Triple Nexus things on TikTok and on YouTube as well. We're going to start to slowly implement more of, like, the YouTube usage with memberships and things like that once we get kind of, like, divvied up into how we want to figure that out. So be on the lookout for all of that, the super messages, all that stuff, and the cool rewards that you can get by subscribing to Triple Nexus podcast. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next week. Keep an eye out for Sunday or Monday, all that stuff. And we hope you take care. Have a great rest of your night.
Be good.
And remember, One Piece is better than your favorite show. All right, goodbye.
Motherfucker.